So let's talk about how to start your own t-shirt business. Now, if you're fashionable like me, well, I'm not that fashionable, but if you want to become rich like, Damon John, became a self-made, 100 millionaire with a t-shirt business. He did FUBU. He was selling on the streets, right? Kim Kardashian has made hundreds of millions of dollars from her clothing business. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen became billionaires with their own clothing business. And there's so many examples. I have a friend who does like 20 million a year with his clothing business. He started out of a warehouse selling to car nerds. Anyone can do this. You don't need an audience. Damon John did not start with an audience. And if you want to start your own clothing business, I'm going to go over step by step how to do that. Let's freaking go. So the first step to starting a t-shirt business is you have to actually decide on a market. Now, whether that's like gamers or car nuts, Porsche owners, people in the hood, people that like sparkly princess things, whatever it is, right? You got to decide on a specific market. Maybe it's truckers, maybe it's people who sit in wheelchairs. Anything can be a market, and there's huge markets if you can penetrate them, right? So that's the first thing. Decide on a market. Now, the second step is you have to decide on what's called a P.O.D. service. Now, the great thing about a t-shirt business is that there are extremely low costs to get started. And what P.O.D. means, it's new technology, it's called print on demand, meaning that you don't actually have to print any of your t-shirts until somebody actually buys the darn thing. You hear me? You don't actually have to have inventory now. It will just be printed and shipped to the customer if they like the design, which is great for you because, in the olden days, you used to have to do like a print run of, 500 or 1,000 t-shirts. So you'd have to have startup costs of thousands of dollars. You don't have to have any of those startup costs, okay? So a good print-on-demand service is teespring.com. That's one of the more popular services. It's also integrated with YouTube. So you see a lot of YouTubers like me, dancing around and, selling, having like little t-shirt links and shop beneath their description or something like that. Now, the third step to starting a t-shirt business is actually creating designs and uploading them. Now, if you can't even draw a straight line like I can, you can go to a website like Fiverr.com, Fiverr, 2 R's.com, and you can order designs for as little as like $10 or $5 to have people actually make designs that you upload to your P.O.D., your print-on-demand platform like Teespring or what have you, okay? Now, I don't know how many designs you want to start with. I'd say around 10 designs to start. Now, I teach people how to start how to start affiliate marketing businesses, and generally what I recommend there is you're going to have to go through anywhere from 3 to 10 campaigns until you hit a profitable one. Same thing applies to e-commerce business if you've considered that, where you have to work on 3 to 10 different products before you find your winner. And the same thing will apply to designs on t-shirts. If you do 10 designs, maybe one of them is a winner. But the way the internet works is it's exponential. It's not like this, it's not like this design got 1 sale, this design got 2 sales, this design got 3 sales. It's actually like 9 of your designs may get no sales, and then one might get a gazillion, and that's a number. Now, after you got your 10 designs and you uploaded them to Teespring, they're looking good on t-shirts and sweaters. Maybe it says like, women like truckers better, or like truckers do it better, or something like that, right? Or like nurses, Draper nurses are the best, whatever that is, right? Then after you've uploaded the designs, right, it's sitting there, right? Where's the money? You got to market yourself. And that's step number 4 is you got to market your designs. And you can do that a few different ways. One is, you can, if you have a social media audience, right, go on your social media audience and show off how good you look. Or another way of doing it is just give your t-shirts, print a number of your own t-shirts and send them off to YouTubers, say, hey, I want to send you a free t-shirt, like which of these designs would you like, and what's your address, right? That's all you really need to do. And you send them your 10 designs, they pick one, you send them a couple shirts, and you hope they wear it on YouTube. Now, what are the costs associated with this, right? So the costs of printing a t-shirt is going to be about $6 and then $4 in fees, okay? So you're looking at about $10 to print a t-shirt. Now, you're going to sell this for around $20, which gives you what we call a 100% ROI or a 50% margin, depending on which way you're looking at it, which way you're slicing the carrot, so to speak. Maybe you're going to have to send out your t-shirt to 50 influencers to actually get started. And again, you can do that through DMs. I gave you the DM script. You send out your t-shirt 50 times. So that's about startup costs of about $500, which is really low for starting a business. Let's go over the pros and cons of starting a t-shirt business, though. Now, the pros, what's great is you can make a ton of money. And as I mentioned, my friend Frankie, who runs Tuned in Tokyo, the guy crushes it. The guy has a fleet of cars and he sells t-shirts, right? Damon John made hundreds of millions of dollars with FUBU, right? His brand was for black people in the hood, or the hood. And he was selling, at FUBU means, it's an acronym, it means for us, by us. So we wanted to create a clothing brand for the community, okay? And it did really well, and he sold the company for an unbelievable amount of money. So the pros are, it's super scalable. The other pro is, as you create a brand, you don't even have to market yourself as much because people just come back and they want the clothing. So I'd say there's, you could sell these companies, etc. You create a brand, you can sell your company for a multiple of what even your revenue is. So if you do $10 million a year in your clothing business, in your t-shirt business, you could probably turn around and sell that brand, let's call it 25 million, 50 million, just cash. Other pros are that you don't have to handle any inventory. With the print-on-demand model, you don't need any inventory. And the other pro is extremely low startup costs. Okay? As we said right here, $500 is nothing to sneeze at. Okay, that was a sneeze. Now, for the cons. Cons are you always have to have new designs, right? You always have to test, new designs. I'm just going to abbreviate that if you're cool. Now, the other con is that, let's say you're starting a comfortable clothing brand for folks in wheelchairs. You're going to have to go out there and reach out to 500 different folks that are, maybe like disabled or in wheelchairs or stuff like that, Now, yes, there are over 500 influencers out there on the internet that are in wheelchairs. One really funny comedian I'll give a shout out to is my boy, Ricky Berwick. He is hilarious. He's a hilarious comedian. I think he's got like millions of followers now. But the point is you can start, you can niche down to anything. So it takes work. It limits your marketing in a number of interesting aspects. Now, you can't necessarily... Paid advertising is going to be a little bit more difficult with t-shirt business because of these $10 costs of printing the t-shirt. Now, the thing is, it's very difficult. I don't know too many people doing this to sell a t-shirt for, let's say, $100. Because that would be good margins. Typically people who are doing e-commerce and paid traffic as their business, they have a 90% markup on their product. So if the product costs 10, they're selling it for 100, right? And that caters to using paid advertising as a traffic method, because when you're doing paid advertising, which is very scalable traffic source, and it's one that I love doing, and I teach about, I teach people to do affiliate marketing and paid advertising. If you want to learn more about my training programs, you can check out the link in the description. You can get my book for free. If you want to learn about affiliate marketing, there's a link in the description or pinned in the comments or something as well. But this is more low margin, so you have to rely less on paid advertising. That said, I've seen people do very well in the olden days with Facebook, targeting truckers or nurses, and selling them mugs or t-shirts and stuff. Woo! So with all that being said, starting a t-shirt business, it's a great option, and if you're looking to start a business, I encourage you to. Starting a business allows you to decide how much you pay yourself. Your work affects, you can make millions of dollars a year. Everyone here watching this video should be making millions of dollars a year. Yeah, I'm serious. Our mission is to get off, or at least is to colonize space, right? We're at the precipice of the future of the freaking rest of humanity. The biggest leap forward in human history is coming. But in order to get out into space, have tons of kids, live for thousands of generations, fulfill our destiny, we have to make a ton of money. Are you with me? So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more business ideas or to learn how to start an internet business or any of these crazy things. Or if you just want some gardening tips. Like this video and please comment. Let me know, are you thinking about starting a t-shirt business? Why or why not? Talk to you soon. John Crestani, I'm out.